Hey everybody, it's Wolvash. Welcome back to Werewolf, the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest. Alright, we're coming to Chapter 3, Standoff, so let's jump right in. Reese Witherspoon's back out on the street. I need to talk. There was no way I was going back to sleep. Since I'd arrived in this accursed village, things had been getting more and more peculiar with every passing hour. The last dream freaked me out, and I needed to find answers to all the questions buzzing in my head. I needed to talk it over with someone I trusted. Anya. She's our true blue right now. I'd come here with Anya, and despite all the strange things I'd done, she still stuck with me. I messaged her, and she messaged me back. I'm on a walk. Come join me. The sun had just set, and the moon wasn't up yet. The forest loomed on the horizon. The activist camp was somewhere there. We met near the shop in Białowieża. It was a characteristic enough point and easy to get to from anywhere in town. What is it? Anya asked. She looked worried. Something strange was happening to me. I know it sounds crazy, but I think something strange is happening to me. I need to get to the bottom of it. There is something strange happening, she nodded, but I have no idea what it is. I know even less than you. She frowned. Maybe we should go to your new friends, the activists? She smiled a little. They are weird. They must know something. It was an option. I mean, they sure know things, but I'm not sure if I trust them. You know what they say, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. She smiled and started walking. Let's go. I'm sure they're not sleeping. Do you mind if I text Bartek? I promised I'd meet him tonight. I didn't mind, and soon he joined us. We went to the activist camp. Reese Witherspoon, Shia LaBeouf, Laura Dern with dreads, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what that one. She's very generic, that one. Let's see. All together now. The camp had a different vibe than the logging site protests. There were more people there. We looked around, trying to take it all in. The people in the camp seemed quite cheerful. Someone was singing. I would notice that. I heard 3 or 4 girls singing together in a unique Eastern European style they call the white voice. It was the most melodic, throaty growling I'd ever heard. I stopped and just got lost in the music for a long while. People were milling about, setting up camp, cooking, preparing posters. Everyone was busy. I have no idea what your plan is, said Bartek, but you have my full support. I need to see Cornell. Hello, I said as I approached. Cornell smiled at me. Hello, he said. What brings you here? I was confused. Confused by everything the reporter was talking about. I'm confused, I answered. Is it really true? I mean, all the stories I've heard connecting to me in the forest? Cornell looked at me with those uncanny gray eyes. I could feel his attention lock on me. Yes, it's true, he said. And that's why we're here. To stop the government destroying the forest. To show that we don't agree and that we hope to make a difference. And you have your role to play. Will it work? I asked. I don't know. All I know is that it worked before. It worked for Gandhi. It worked with segregation and apartheid in the end. It worked with communism. So let's see if it works with capitalism as well. Violence is not an option here. He smiled. And I think you know quite well that anger doesn't really get shit done. It depends. But I'm kind of trying to be on his good side because I think he's trying to do the right thing. I smiled back. Somehow being around him made me feel more relaxed. I know you can count on me, I answered. I finally had a family debt to pay, and I couldn't just be an observer anymore. So we may have a little citizen protest going on tonight, Cornell said, but I'll need your support if we want to convince the others. The tipping point. They all wanted to do something that night, but after a whole day's discussion, they were still divided on what to do. 3 for one option, 3 for the other. I had the deciding vote. Olga's plan or Cornell's plan. I'm trying to go with Cornell's plan. Olga kind of freaks me out a little bit. Her plan has a very one-sided view of things, and we've learned that there's a very murky view of things, so I still think the peaceful option is the better way to go. But I guess we're going to find out. Well, he's back to neutral. He didn't like us for a bit. A little help from my friends. I voted for the peaceful protest, and soon we were on our way to the National Park headquarters and education center. We had some banners to install. Bartek hesitated for a long time, but he joined us in the end. I'm only coming because my dad is out tonight and he won't see me coming in late, he mumbled. Anya also tagged along. This is so exciting, Anya whispered. I've never done anything so illegal. Soon we were there. Stop the logging peacefully. Okay. As we were on our way, I realized that we followed the path only because of my vote. I made a difference. The National Park headquarters were located in something called Palace Park. The name was historical. The name, like everything in Poland, was historical. Centuries ago, some king had his hunting lodge there, but now it had a mishmash of old and new buildings scattered around the park. Some were rough and bulky, made of stone and brick, while others were an extravaganza of wooden porches, lace-like shutters, and meticulously sculpted pillars. There was no one around, but the area was well lit. It was exhilarating. Finally, a big, shameless gesture, I thought, looking at the huge silhouette of the headquarters. I felt alive, and that gave me rage? Interesting. My heart was thumping in my chest, and I was grinning from ear to ear. I felt alive and reckless. Suddenly, I remembered the church located just next to the Palace Park gate. I could feel its dark silhouette looming in the darkness, waiting. We were ready. They'd spent the whole day painting the sign on a length of material sewn together from what looked like old sheets that were various shades of grayish white. The dark green letters declared, "Wood is the enemy of the forest." "Where do we hang it?" asked Daniel, who'd come equipped with climbing gear. I shared my recommendations. "I think we should attach it to the drain pipes there and there." I pointed at 2 corners of the building, and Daniel grunted in agreement. "It doesn't matter," Olga said, "because hanging the banner is a waste of time." She was clearly upset that we ditched her plan, but perhaps she had a point. I let her talk. Olga looked at me as though she expected me to say something, but I didn't take the bait. "It's a great banner, and I'm sure it will look good on the pictures published by a number of independent political blogs." She looked at Cornell. "But it's stuck so deep into the overeducated ecological dispute that people won't get it, and the loggers won't care." Cornell just shook his head and gestured Daniel to continue. Soon the sign was up, screaming our message to all of Białowieża. Białowieża. I can't get it. It does not look like it should say. Cornell looked at me. "Maia, what do you think?" Let's see. Let's use some willpower. Let's do something difficult. I said that it was glorious. I didn't really get that slogan, but I decided to play it cool. "Oh, it's glorious." "I'm glad you think so," he grinned. "I love the wording. Humans let the forest grow so they can take wood from it, but that isn't the purpose of the forest." Finally, we pulled the banner up. "My father will have a stroke when he sees this," Bartek let out a repressed laugh. "It's an important message," Anya looked up with fire in her eyes. "The world must know." I looked at the sign flying high over the park. I was proud of our work. When we finished, Cornell gathered us together. I was proud of what we'd accomplished, and I contributed to it. Whatever my family had done, I was starting to pay back the debt. Cornell reached for his bicycle. Let's go for a trip, he said, to remind ourselves what we're trying to protect. Oh, I don't look like Reese Witherspoon anymore. I've changed faces completely. All of us have. Oh, it's night and day. Gunshots in the woods. The woods were full of stars. We cycled in silence, enjoying the company of the forest, as it enjoyed ours. At some point, a clearing opened up before us. It was surrounded by boulders placed in a circle. They looked relaxed. A soft breeze rustled in the trees, welcoming us. What was this place? Let's look at Bartok being tense. Let's notice that, because I feel like rage could help us in this instance. We should have stayed at home, whispered Bartek, and the whisper carried in the air. This is not a good night to be out here. His nervousness was getting to me. All the hair on my hand stood on end, and I felt hot energy running in my veins. I wonder if anyone else felt it as well. Do you guys feel that? I looked at my companions, but before anyone could answer, a loud sound tore through the silence. It was a gunshot. A gunshot. Sorry, I like that you read it and I don't know, whatever. Anya gasped, looking around wide-eyed and terrified. The others tensed up, but they didn't look concerned, just confused. We have to get out of here immediately. Bartek's whisper was frantic and scared. There's a hunting party out here. Cornell turned toward us like he'd finally put something together. There was a rustle, and I saw a bunch of men in camo, each of them with a rifle, coming toward us between the trees. I observed them. I watched their angry steps and listened to the murmured curses. Something was strangely familiar. The man at the front looked exactly like an older version of Bartek. He weighed us up for a moment, then focused on Cornell. This area is closed for the night, the huntsman said in Polish. There was contempt in his voice. There's a hunt going on, and y'all are trespassing. We have police officers here, so I would go home if I were you, unless you want to get arrested. This was a pile of hot bullshit. This guy reeked of guilt. I punched him? Tried to de-escalate. I assessed the situation. There was still a chance we could talk our way out of it reasonably. I'm getting analytical as all get out here. I looked at the hunters. Maybe we should all go home, I said in Polish. We're disturbing the forest. My voice was calm and steady. It made the huntsman pause. I turned to them. I turned to the hunters with clenched fists. For a moment, it looked like the man would agree with me, but he just clenched his fists and said, "You don't tell me what to do, girl. And stay away from my son," he barked, pointing at Bartek. "You hippies go home now, or things will get nasty." I tried to calm him down. "I'm not telling you what to do. I'm speaking to everyone here," I answered. He hesitated and then shrugged. "This is our forest. We grew up with it, and we're not going anywhere. You're the ones who are strangers, so get the fuck out of here." This forest belonged to no one. "That's bullshit. The forest belongs to no one," I calmly answered. "He won't listen," Olga said, cracking her knuckles, and then she launched at him. A heartbeat later, a full-blown fight began. Shouts, raised of flashlights, flickering in the dark, the wet sounds of punches. Anya took a step toward them, and the moment Bartek took a step back. They looked at each other, unsure, then looked at me. Do we join the fight or run away? Anya's there. I think I'm gonna have my friends back, and Anya's jumping in, so I think I'm gonna jump in and join the fight. The night fight. Check it out, man. It's like handgun, maybe shotgun or rifle. I don't know, hatchet, and just us. punching. Ugh. The clearing shattered like a broken window into sharp pieces, its edges cut clean by the rays of a flashlight, swirling in the darkness. One piece, a shout, another, a silhouette leaping, a dodge, a grunt, a punch, a cry, curses in 3 different languages. My mind was crystal clear as I jumped from one piece to another. I body slammed into one of the men as he stumbled. So I punched him harder. I took a step back to gain momentum, and I hit him as hard as I could. I heard a crack when I hit his nose, and then there was a loud thud. A flashlight shone his way. Bartek was kneeling over the body. Bartek was kneeling over the fallen guy, trying to wake him up. I saw blood. Blood on his head, blood on the stone next to his head, blood on the ground, dark and fresh. I mean, did he have it coming? I don't know. Kind of. He had it coming. Yeah. And we did mean to punch him in the face. That would be dishonest. It was a fight, and in a fight, you sometimes got hurt. I turned away from the man to look for another target. "She killed him!" one of the men shouted, the horror clear in his voice. He directed his flashlight at my face, blinding me. I grabbed the flashlight. I moved toward him and grabbed the flashlight, but the guy was strong and we started to struggle. A second later, I noticed a huge silhouette behind him. It looked at me, and his eyes were glowing. "Leave her alone," it growled, and I recognized the voice. Was it Cornell? It was Cornell. He was bulging, muscles growing bigger, bones getting longer. He let out a joyous roar, throwing his hands, now equipped with strong claws, in the air. He grabbed the man and slashed across his torso. I felt a surge of adrenaline, my nostrils flared, and I heard myself growling. Something warm landed... Whoa! Something warm landed on my face. More blood. Howls. Terrified screams. Bartek grabbed Maia and Anya's wrists. "We have to go." The man screamed again and pointed a gun at Cornell. I attacked Cornell? No, I attacked the man with the gun. I acted on instinct. I zeroed in on the man, pointing the gun, and launched myself at him. A gunshot tore through the night. And then there was only pain. Ooh, we lost some health. The pain was unbearable. Nothing in my life had prepared me for this. I wasn't ready to go. I screamed defiance to the forest, blinded by the blood in my eyes and the searing pain in my shoulder and chest. I knew death was coming for me, but I wasn't ready. The forest didn't care. Oh, we're losing health. The forest caught my fall in a bed of moss and twigs, stopped thrashing, and a cold numbness engulfed me. No, I tried to get up. I punched the earth, trying to get some feeling in my hands. I gritted my teeth and tried to get up. I collapsed again. I felt so cold. Then suddenly there was light. I looked up. The full moon. It looked different. Impaired health and willpower. Well, we're hurting here. Ooh, look it. Everything like went up by 2. Okay, Luna in her full glory. Your willpower dropped to 0. When you lose all your health or willpower, you become impaired. This will make physical tasks, if you have 0 hearts, or social and mental tasks, if you have 0 willpower, harder and sometimes impossible. The moon was a goddess, and she noticed me. Get up, she said. I get up. I feel good. I know that I shouldn't, but I don't remember why, and I don't care. I stretch. My muscles are sore and cramped, so I stretch like I've never stretched before. My arms are longer. My legs are stronger. My heart is pumping, and I feel like I've spent my whole life packed into a box, and I've finally been set free. My mind is clear. Look at, we're getting health and willpower back. Ooh. My mind is clearer than it's ever been before. I see the world in sharp contrast of black and white, movement and stillness. I smell prey. I hear language in the hooting of owls and the whistling of the wind and the snarling of wolves. I am what I was born to be. I breathe. I take a breath and feel my ribs and muscles move. The forest smells of blood and fear and excitement. I laugh happily and the others' laughter joins me. We laugh and sing to the moon. Something stings me. I look around. There's a small, malformed creature pointing a stick at me. The stick blazes with fire and there's another sting. The creature is no threat to me, but its presence is annoying. Its smell almost sends me reeling, and I don't like being pricked. I push it away. I push the creature away and it flies through the air, making funny noises. Then it hits a tree and stays there, pinned to a branch like a butterfly. Wow, I tried the non-violent one, and that was not it. That was not it. My ears prick, and I hear more creatures running blindly through the bushes. My leg no longer stings, and I feel better than ever before. Is this a dream? Maybe it's a dream, I think, as I move silently through the undergrowth. The creatures are running away, their backs turned to me. A growl escapes from between my teeth, and one of them turns my way. It challenges me. I roar. I roar, and the creature falls down and curls into a ball. It smells of ammonia. Piercing light burns my eyes. I hear more creatures coming my way. They want to hurt me. I run away. I am too smart for such an ambush. I claw my way through the nearest creature and disappear among the trees. Their frustrated shouts make me laugh. I flare my nostrils and there's a new smell. Something is coming. The creatures? No. Something else. I see them moving among the trees. Suddenly I'm surrounded by them. I think I know them. They seem familiar. It's like I met them in the past, but they were hidden. They close in on me. What do they want? Keep them away. The hair on my neck stands on end and I growl at them. They take a step back and we start circling each other. The night air thick with tension. Run with us, they say. I howl with joy. We howl with joy, and everything that hears us trembles with fear. Then we run through the forest and through the night. I get lost in the moment and pay no attention to the others. I am alone in the heart of the forest. I look up and see no moon, only clouds and tangled branches. Something changed, and I realized how tired I was. I stumbled. Nothing was okay. The night was full of stars. Confused, I opened my eyes. The forest around me was thick and dark. The tree trunks wrapped tightly in dark-leaved ivy were covered in ripples of lichen where the vines hadn't taken hold. The thorny, leafless bushes at their base were overrun with nettles. The fungi radiated with a ghoulish, sickly green light. Dark sponge-like mushrooms clung to the fallen trees. Something was wrong. I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. I looked down and saw my hands covered in a dark substance. I was naked. A sticky glistening of film liquid was clinging to my skin. I could feel it on my face, in my hair. Blood. Whose blood was this? Had I killed someone? I remembered my dream and slowly lifted my eyes. There was a severed head right in front of me. I felt sick. The face was contorted, the eyes bulging, the mouth open, the tongue stuck out. It was obscene. I doubled over, retching. I recognized the face. I recognized that face. It was one of the hunters, the one that had tried to stop me. His head watched me with reproach. I cried. I felt tears running down my cheeks and I let the sadness in. The bushes rustled, and a moment later I saw Cornell coming from out between the trees. He looked at me, at the head, at my face. He came closer and squatted beside me. This is what we were trying to tell you. His gray eye smiled. See, you're a werewolf. I looked at him. I blinked. Everything faded to black. Ooh, best chapter yet. There's werewolves in my werewolf story. Alright, so we are full on werewolf. We knew it was coming. We just had to figure out how. Did not know that Cornell was one. I would have pegged Olga in a heartbeat, but not Cornell. So that's interesting. Yeah, that was not too bad. I'm very curious on the next steps now. We got a bison in this shot. I wonder if we're going to like hunt a rare bison in the next chapter. Alright guys, well that was a cool little step up in the storytelling. Let's see if that continues and we get into chapter 4. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you come back for the next one. Take care of yourselves.